Well, birthdays are merely symbolic of how another year has gone by and how little we've grown.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 dark truths about Seinfeld.
She expired.
Are you sure?
For this list, we'll be looking at some pretty big somethings behind the scenes of this show about nothing. Yada yada yada, leave us a comment below. Number 10. Elaine's dad was even scarier in real life. While Jerry and George's parents played major roles throughout the series, Elaine's father only appeared in one episode.
Excuse me, Mr. Bennis.
Yeah.
I'm Jerry Elaine's friend. This is George.
It's a great thrill to meet you, sir.
The actor playing the part was actually supposed to have a recurring role. That idea was nixed during the filming of his first and only appearance. You see, as scary as her dad was on screen, actor Lawrence Tierney was even scarier in real life. The incident that's often mentioned involves Tierney sneaking a knife from the set into his jacket, and when questioned, imitating the iconic scene from Psycho. Julia Louis-Dreyfus described the experience bluntly, saying, "He was a total nut job."
So how's everything going over here?
Great.
Couldn't be better.
Good, because Dad can make some people a little uncomfortable.
Oh, no.
Get out of here.
Number 9. Seinfeld versus Roseanne. If someone parked in your spot at work, what would you do?
Well, if you didn't think I was parking, why did you put it in head first? Well, that's the way I park!
Hopefully it wouldn't be what Tom Arnold did when Julia Louis-Dreyfus accidentally did just that. The incensed Arnold left an aggressive note on her windshield reading, "How stupid are you? Move your effing car, you a-hole."
What have I done? I can't read this.
After Louis-Dreyfus, Larry David and Jason Alexander approached him about it. A photo of a butt appeared on her car, along with an extremely vulgar insult scrawled in soap. Arnold has said that this was the work of his wife at the time, Roseanne, and the photo was of her co-star, John Goodman. Still angry, Roseanne doubled down when she called Louis-Dreyfus a bitch on David Letterman. Arnold blames it all on the Seinfeld people being crappy.
This is so much better than Real Housewives.
It's a very famous Seinfeld story.
Number 8. The Disappearance of Claire the Waitress. The pilot episode features some notable differences to the rest of the show, in particular the presence of Claire the Waitress and the absence of Elaine.
Mr. Seinfeld, Mr. Costanza.
Originally, Claire, played by Lee Garlington, was supposed to be the main female protagonist, but she was let go after the pilot, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus was brought in as Elaine. Why, you ask? Well, according to Seinfeld, the producers wanted a character that would be more intertwined with the guys, not just pouring coffee.
Trust me, George, no one has any interest in seeing you on caffeine.
However, Jason Alexander has said that Garlington had rewritten her scene and Larry David wasn't happy about it, so she was sent packing.
I'd have to say, no.
Number 7. Royalty Discrepancy. If you thought that the cast of Seinfeld had been getting rich off of royalty payments since the show ended, you would be quarter right.
The money was unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, highest paying job I ever had.
How much?
Nah, I'd rather.
Oh, come on.
Nah.
Co-creator and star Jerry Seinfeld has been raking in the dollars since the show About Nothing went off the air, with his 15% back-end equity deal. Co-creator Larry David has the same deal. It might not sound like a lot, but that 15% has made Seinfeld at least $440 million since the series ended its run in 1998.
This is unbelievable.
I told you.
My God, you're rich.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Michael Richards, and Jason Alexander certainly made a pretty penny per episode, but do not have a share in the back-end equity. They do still get the standard SAG-AFTRA residuals and a cut of DVD sales, which is obviously becoming less and less relevant.
What? I just don't think I can talk to you anymore.
Number 6. Finale feelings. Over 76 million people watched the Seinfeld finale in 1998. And while the series is one of the most beloved in the history of television, the finale, which sees the characters receive their comeuppance, is one of the most divisive.
I can think of nothing more fitting than for the four of you to spend a year removed from society.
While some fans and critics liked it, just as many, if not more, were disappointed. And it would appear that the cast themselves feel somewhat the same. Jerry has said he was happy with the episode, but has also commented that they might have tried to go too big, and big is always bad in comedy.
So, anyone from Cell Block D?
I am.
I'll talk slower.
For his part, Jason Alexander called it good, but not great. Julia Louis-Dreyfus got in a very funny dig at the finale during her appearance on David Letterman's final show.
Thanks for letting me take part in another hugely disappointing series finale.
Number 5. Angering Puerto Ricans. If you missed the Puerto Rican Day episode when it aired on May 7th, 1998, you would have had to wait until 2002 to see it.
I'm into this Puerto Rican Day. The sight, the sound, the hot, spicy flavor of it all. It's caliente!
While the show went into syndication after it ended, that particular episode was removed from the syndication package for 4 years. Why? Well, the National Puerto Rican Coalition was not happy about seeing the Puerto Rican flag burned on TV.
Hey, there's a guy burning the Puerto Rican flag!
Who is burning the flag?
There were also complaints and protests over how Puerto Rican people were talked about and portrayed in the episode.
Maybe we should stump you, like you stumped the flag. What do you think of that?
In response to the protests, NBC did issue an apology at the time. Number 4. Costanza versus Seinfeld. It's pretty common knowledge that the character of George Costanza is based on Seinfeld co-creator and famous neurotic Larry David.
Well, you really went bald there, didn't you?
At least it's common knowledge to almost everyone except Michael Costanza, who went to Queens College with Jerry. He even played a truck driver in the parking space episode.
Hey, move this car, I gotta get through!
However, after the series ended, Michael sued Seinfeld and others involved with the show for violating his civil rights. Costanza was convinced that George was based on him and that they used his name, likeness, and persona without permission, while also portraying him in a negative light. He sued for $100 million. Needless to say, Costanza lost the suit.
Well, the jerk store called. They're running out of you.
Number 3. Stealing the spotlight. While Seinfeld made huge celebrities out of the entire cast, there was no bigger breakout star than Michael Richards.
He transcends time and space. He sickens me. I love it. Me too.
A racist tirade in 2006 has since considerably damaged his reputation. But at the time, audiences went wild when his character Kramer slid through the door into Jerry's apartment.
Hey, we're ordering Chinese food. If you want anything, let me know what it is and I'll order it.
The problem was that it was hard for the other cast members to deliver their lines over the roar of the audience. According to some sources, it also made them a little jealous.
His whole life is a fantasy camp. People should plunk down $2,000 to live like him for a week.
Whatever the reason, producers did have to eventually ask audiences to temper their reaction to Kramer's entrance. Number 2. The real reason Susan was killed off. So, it turns out that Julia Louis-Dreyfus killed Susan. We should probably provide more information here.
What? You can tell me. I'll put it in the vault.
You see, while the actress who played Susan, Heidi Swedberg, was a nice person, her comedic instincts didn't mesh well with the other cast members. Jason Alexander explained to Howard Stern that he was constantly trying to adjust to her, but I'd adjust and then it would change.
Oh, I don't like this one bit.
Well, I can't stop now.
Eventually, Jerry and Julia, after having a bunch of scenes with Swedberg, understood Alexander's frustrations, and Louis-Dreyfus commented, "Don't you want to just kill her?" Well, Larry David heard that and loved the idea.
How did it happen?
Apparently the glue in the wedding invitations was toxic.
Well, that's weird.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Jason Alexander threatened to quit. The third episode of the third season is a good one. It features the famous astronaut Penn and one of the funniest moments of the entire series with Elaine high on muscle relaxants. But it's even more significant for one other reason. It's the only episode of the series that doesn't have George Costanza in it. Now, you might think that isn't such a big deal, but you know who did think it was a huge deal? Jason Alexander.
That's it. This is it. I'm done.
Fearing that Julia Louis-Dreyfus's Elaine would cause his role to become less and less relevant, Alexander actually threatened to quit the show. As he recounted to Access Hollywood, I said to Larry David, "Look, I get it, but if you do that again, do it permanently."
Oh, what, that? Are you kidding? I didn't quit. Why, you took that seriously.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.